Hey everybody, it's Jason Cruz once again with MMA Payouts, the interview, and we have the guy yet again, PFL Public Relations didn't stop me from getting Kenny Florian on. Kenny, we got PFL 7, the playoffs are here. Playoffs, they're here August 4th. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, excited for the playoffs, and can't wait to see what happens.
Excellent, excellent. Now, this has been an interesting season. So we got the featherweights and the light heavyweights up to see who gets to go to the finals. Let's talk really quick. Not really quick, but let's talk about go right ahead to the main event of the August 4th fight. Bubba Jenkins and Jesus Pineda.
Yes,
What are your
yeah,
thoughts?
it's going to be crazy. We're seeing a guy in Jesus Pinedo who upset Brendan Loughnane, and Loughnane was looking so good. He was in fantastic form, and there's so many different ways that Loughnane can win. Seeing him get stopped in round one by Jesus Pinedo was unbelievable, and clearly going to be a huge confidence builder, momentum builder for the Peruvian fighter who's taken on Bubba Jenkins, who also has really leveled up this year. I think Bubba Jenkins, every time we see him, he looks better, he looks smarter, he looks more composed, he looks more relaxed, and he's executing on a different level this year that he wasn't, I think, in years prior. Um, Not only is he cleaner with everything and his technique, where he looks dangerous everywhere, but he's getting finishes more consistently now. So it just shows that he's been putting in the work, and that bodes very well for him and his team. So I mean, that's a tough one to call. I'd have to be leaning towards Bubba Jenkins at this point. I think Pinedo would still be the underdog heading into this one, just based on the matchup alone, because Bubba Jenkins is so good with what he does, which is, mix it up on the feet, take you down, and beat you up on the ground or submit you. But Jesus Pinedo is very well rounded, and I think he's going to be coming in here extremely confident and very dangerous. So I can't wait for that.
Now that fight, Pineda's fight against Brendan Loughnane was a shocker. I was watching it myself. I think it shocked everyone. You got the clip of Chris Wade just shocked in the locker room. I think Brendan was doing really well in that fight, and this is the great thing about the PFL tournament. It is like the March Madness where all of a sudden Cinderella makes its way into the Final Four here. Now, is there any way that you see that Pineda can do the upset on, beat Bubba Jenkins? Jenkins has been looking great this season, by the way. But yes, is there any
Yeah,
way?
I think there is. I think Pinedo has shown that he is a very tough striker to deal with. I also think his size is extremely impressive and surprising, for a lot of people in the featherweight division. Pinedo is absolutely huge in that featherweight division. So I think, I don't necessarily see him out wrestling Bubba Jenkins necessarily, but I think his best bet would be to utilize his length, utilize his striking to keep Bubba Jenkins on the outside, score from the outside, and then look for some kind of knockout from that range. Now, if he's not able to do that, if he does get taken down, his submission game is going to be tested, and it's going to have to be at a very high level to defeat someone like a Bubba Jenkins. But who knows? He is a finisher. He does have killer instinct, and I think that's his best bet. Is not necessarily outpointing someone like Bubba Jenkins, but getting the submission
Yeah,
or,
definitely.
or getting the knockout. Getting
Yeah,
some kind of
I got you. I got you. Definitely. Now, so PFL 7 playoffs takes place in San Antonio, Texas. I am talking to Kenny Florian, a guy. If Victor Wembanyama, if he saw Victor Wembanyama in a hotel and you would tap him on the shoulder, he would turn around and say hi. He definitely would. He definitely would. Let's talk about the light heavyweight division. Now, Rob Wilkinson is out, and
yeah.
I thought he was going to be the favorite. So this is a wide. I think it's a wide open division. What are your thoughts on the matchups that are happening on August 4th?
Yeah, very interesting. We have Joshua Silveira, who's looking extremely sharp heading into the playoffs. I think that he has made big improvements. I know that him and his team have been really happy with his progress in training, in camp. And, I think he learned a lot last year. So for me, he's actually one of the favorites right now heading in to the playoffs. But I think, another guy who might be one of the dark horses in that division is Impa Kasanganay. a guy who used to fight in the UFC, of course, in a different division, now fighting at 205 pounds. I think he's fighting at a very high level right now, and he is someone that should definitely not be underestimated. So I think Josh Silveira, the favorite, Impa Kasanganay, has got to be one of the dark horses in this playoffs.
And Sungdai, yeah, definitely has made his way back. Well, not back. He made his way through the Challenger Series and has looked impressive. Big medicine, Josh Silveira just gets. I go with him just because based on his nickname. But
Yeah.
what are your what who are you siding toward as far as making it through this bracket?
You know, it's tough to say because I think Martin Hamlet has shown that he is fighting a lot smarter this year as well. So he's not someone that should be underestimated at all. He's absolutely massive at 205 pounds. Been looking really good. And um, I think Ty Flores is going to be tough, but I think Joshua Silveira has a game that's going to be tough for Ty Flores to deal with. So I like Josh Silveira to get into the final. Between Martin Hamlet and Impa Kasanganay, I think it's tough to say because Impa is going to be definitely undersized heading into that one. But I think he can use his speed advantage in that one, and Martin Hamlet can use his size and wrestling ability in that one. So that one's tough to call. I think that's a more difficult fight, but I think it'd be tough to underestimate Impa Kasanganay right now. I think he's has a style that can pose a lot of problems for people, and of course his experience as well and motivation. So I think maybe a Silveira Kasanganay final might be likely, but who knows? I think Martin Hamlet's looking really good right now as well.
Definitely, definitely. Now, I'm talking to you from Seattle, where we just had the MLB All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like August 4th, the semifinals. This feels like the halfway point of the PFL season. Is there a fighter that you can pick out? Maybe this card, maybe the other semifinals card that you would pick as maybe the midseason MVP? Is there somebody out there that's been outstanding? Maybe not the most valuable, but just an outstanding fighter that showed that you think showed the best wares of this particular season. Is there someone out there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that right now my front runners for that would have to pick two. I'm sorry, I can't pick
Oh,
one.
come on.
I'm terrible at this. But
Okay.
Olivier Aubin Mercier and Sado Busi would be my front runners for this right now. I think that the skill that they're demonstrating in the smart cage right now, the experience that they're demonstrating, the people that they're doing it against, I think is extremely impressive. So right now it's between those two guys. Finally we're seeing those two fighters really coming to their own. Obviously they're world champions last year, but I think they're feeding off of that momentum. They're feeding off of that confidence and experience now, and we're seeing them at fighting at a high level because of it.
Now, I know we're going off script a little bit, but OAM, he is definitely a guy that when he was with the UFC, I didn't see this just this advancement in his game. Is there something that you attribute to that you've seen since he's been with the PFL that has made he's definitely leveled up. But is
Yeah.
there something that's happened that he's honed in since being with the PFL?
I don't have insights into that exactly. If I were to say something, looking from the outside in, I would say it's his intelligence, so his tactics that he has during a fight, and also his ability to adapt during the fight as well. It always seems like he has all the right answers to the kind of questions that his opponents are posing out there. I think that he's just executing at a very high level, and you know, he switches things up when you least expect it. He always has the right game plan, and I think that's what's setting him apart from everybody else. Clearly you need a lot of skill in order to do that, so he definitely has that. He has the size, and he has the experience now to go out there and continue doing that. So I've been blown away by his progress every year that I've seen him compete.
It's great seeing a guy that you remember seeing on prelim fights making the most of his opportunities, and definitely a
Definitely.
great thing. But Kenny, it's PFL 7, the playoffs in San Antonio, Texas. greatly appreciate your time. I'm sure you got a lot of these things to do, but anytime that we get a chance to talk to you, I appreciate it. Go Bruins. I didn't even talk about what happened in the playoffs.
Oh
Uh,
man,
yeah, even though the Kraken went farther, but that's okay. We're not talking about that. Thank you so much for your time, and we will be watching Thursday, August 4th, PFL playoffs.
thanks, Jason. Take care.
All right, see you later, Kenny. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.